2 murders, 2 terrible crimes. 2 days of the weekend in the capital were accompanied by 2 bloody crimes by 2 men addicted to heroin. In the first crime, a man killed his brother during a fight, and the second killer ended his wife's life for unknown reasons. At 15:30 on Thursday, November 24, police officers noticed the conflict and went to the place. The place of the conflict was a 2-story building where police officers encountered the body of a 51-year-old man. This man was the landlord who was stabbed to death. At the crime scene, detectives found the 48-year-old brother of the victim, whose hands and clothes were covered in blood. He was arrested by the order of the judge and the investigation about this incident continued. The 14-year-old daughter of the victim was the only witness to this incident who was present at home during the conflict between her father and uncle. She said in the investigation, "I was studying on the first floor when suddenly I heard my father's scream from the second floor. He asked me for help and I rushed upstairs. When I opened the door, I saw my uncle standing over my father's head with bloody hands and a knife in his hand. My father's bloody body was also lying on the ground and was moaning. I was scared and I was afraid to enter the house. In a moment, my eyes fell on the door key. I locked the door on my uncle and called my mother, who also informed the police and emergency services and insisted that I not open the door until the police." According to the statements of this teenage girl, her uncle was arrested on the charge of murder and taken to the police station. During the interrogations, he confessed to killing his brother and said, "My brother always humiliated me. The same thing happened on the day of the accident. I was sitting in the kitchen when he came towards me and started swearing again. I fought with him and as I was tired of him I decided to kill him. I took a knife from the kitchen and hit him a few times. Then I waited for the police to come." The statements of the criminal man were made while the investigation revealed that he was addicted to heroin and that he had gone to a de-addiction camp at the insistence of his brother some time ago. But the day before, after a leave, he left the drug addiction camp and went to his brother's house when this incident happened. According to the report of this local newspaper, the accused was introduced to the forensic doctor for a mental health examination by the order of the judge of the case. Second crime. The second incident occurred at 9:20 a.m. on Friday in the southeast of the capital. When emergency responders were caught up in a bloody fight in a young couple's apartment, they went there. When paramedics arrived, they found the bloodied body of a young woman lying on the ground. Next to the body of the victim, his wife was standing with bloodied hands and in an unusual posture, and kept asking him if his wife was alive or not. After initial investigations, the paramedics found out that the young woman died from multiple stab wounds. At the same time, the matter was reported to the police and a few moments later, the police arrived at the scene of the murder and arrested the 33-year-old suspect. At the same time, the detectives investigated the neighbors. Investigations showed that the young man was addicted to heroin and unemployed. For this reason, his wife tried to support her living expenses by working in a women's hair salon. In the continuation of the investigation, it was found that this young couple has a 6-year-old daughter, who the victim left with her parents to take care of her due to her husband's addiction. In the next stage, the detectives investigated the victim's family, and on the day of the incident, the victim wanted to go to her father's house in Varriman, but when she left the house, she got into a fight with her husband and was killed by him. The investigation on these two cases is still ongoing. ALS